Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I'm doing a doll repaint. I guess it's a doll repaint. I don't know. I'm making a plushie. So I want a friggin' Bratziez, but they are like just impossible to get unless I want to pay a scalper $20 extra, which I don't. So let's make one. So I picked up one of the Bratz baby dolls, and I am not someone who has nostalgia for Bratz. I feel like I just missed that train. I was like 12 when they came out, and I was just really into like anime, and I don't know, I was kind of like boy crazy at 12 and like video games, so I just wasn't into dolls at the time when they came out. So I don't have nostalgia for them, and they're not really a doll that I want to repaint, but I think these Bratz Babyz are hella cute. I also think their faces make for a really cute anime face up, so that's what we're gonna do. But first I gotta cut her head off, or actually I have to cut her face off. Since she has molded on hair, her head, like the plastic, is really thick, so I have to heat it up with my heat gun, and then I can cut it off with an X-Acto blade. Taking 100% acetone, I wipe her face paint off. She has a butterfly molded on her hair, which is very cute, but doesn't really lend to like what I'm trying to do with this doll. So I cut it off, and then I'm going back over the hair with some epoxy sculpt to get that like hair texture back in. Now we just gotta paint it black, and voila, it's like good as new. On to the face up. So I spray the doll 3 times with Mr. Super Clear, waiting 15 minutes between each spray, and wearing a respirator mask, and we start sketching. So like I said earlier, I think that this face mold really lends to anime eyes. So that's what we're gonna do. So I am sketching out some eyes, and I wanted them to be like more pointy rather than round, because I really felt like the whole like Bratz almond eye look that Bratz dolls have, I think that really suits this sculpt. If you've never done an anime face up before and you are curious about like doing one and you want to do one, I'd say they're a little bit harder and a little bit easier. Like there's pros and cons with this compared to my normal style. So with this, one of the kind of cons, or one of the harder aspects, is that you have to really sit there and get things very symmetrical because it's a bit more graphic, and also the eyes are huge. So if you got one small eye and one big eye, it's gonna be super noticeable. However, because the eyes are really big, it makes it really easy to add detail because you just have so much space. I'm a bit less comfortable though in this style because it's just not really a style that I typically work in. But I always end up really liking how they turn out. I blush around her face with light pink and fill in her lips with a red pastel. Kind of a side note, I feel like Bratz dolls have like some of the best lip sculpts in the game. They're so good. They're just, I don't know, it's just very much like my aesthetic. I really like how like pouty their lips are, and also just the shape of them. Whenever a doll has like this shape of lips, I'm like, oh, I like it a lot. I start filling in her eye whites with a white pencil, and then I'm going to take a blue pastel, and I'm going to be adding like an undertone around her face, around her brow bone, her forehead, her eyes, her lips, all those areas. I gave her veins around her eyes and like her forehead. I always get a little bit indecisive about whether or not I shouldn't include these details with anime face-ups, but I also do really like them, so I end up doing it. But yeah, I feel like that's another thing with anime face-ups. I feel confused as to whether or not I should like pull back or not. I ended up giving her darker blue eyes, and because the eyes are so big, you can really see the grainy texture of the pencil. So I am wetting my brush and filling in the eyes with just paint, and it really smooths that over. With the black pencil, I am deepening up with the lines on her eyes. I wanted to keep a bit of that like red color because I really like when anime face-ups have like a fade of color. So it's not just like black graphic line, it's kind of like fading into a different color, in this case a dark red. She's gonna be an animal, so I gave her a little slit for her pupil because she's gonna be a cat. I really like the diffused look of the lips when I didn't add any lines of definition to them, but I can't help myself. So I went and added some lines to the lips, particularly like the upper lip, kind of like defining the top of it, and then adding some lip lines to the bottom lip as well. With a white pencil, I'm giving her a highlight on her lid, and I'm also coloring in her like mouth as a gape, so I'm coloring in her teeth. At this stage, I'm really just amping up the colors, so I'm taking some white watercolor and I'm filling in the white of her eyes. I also wanted to amp up that red color on the outer part of her eyes, so I'm going in with paint. I love me some lip wrinkles, so we're adding some highlights to them with a peach pencil. With black pastel, I am shading in her eyelids, and I'm also going to give her some brows. I want to keep her brows kind of thin, so that's what we're doing. I've mentioned this like 4,000 times, but I really like a fuzzy limbo ring, so that's what we're doing. So on the line going around her eye, I am adding flicks of black, and it's just going towards her pupil, but it's not like hitting her pupil, it's just going towards it. I like adding blush lines to anime face up, so I'm doing a couple diagonal lines on her little cheekies. To give her hair some shine, or some duochrome shine, I took a pink Bratz powder and I added that to her hair. And then we're adding highlights to her eyes. So these are pretty similar to the ones that I added around the line around her eye, but I'm taking a light blue and I'm flicking that towards the pupil, and it's getting like way closer. These are next to the black lines that I added on the line around her eye. I feel like I'm over explaining it, but you can see what I'm doing. At this stage, I'm pushing and pulling that eye definition, so I'm going with black and just like further shading with that. And then I'm taking a dark blue and I am fading some of those highlight lines so that they're not such, I guess, an intense stark line. There's more of like a fade to the end of it where it goes towards the pupil. I deepen up those brows with black watercolor. I'm adding lines of brow hairs. with white paint on a couple of, not like all of them or not nearly all of them, those blue highlights that are on the iris. I'm adding a little bit of white. I got my metallic watercolors out and I added a bit of red to the lash line, and I also added a bit of purple to her pupil, just to, I don't know, it's just very dark on dark on dark, so I'm brightening it up. As a final step for this face up, I take my white watercolor and I'm adding dots to her cheeks, on the corners of her lips, and also her white catch lights on her eyes. Off camera, I glossed her lips with my Tamiya gloss, and this is her face up. I really like her. I want to paint another one, but like keep it a baby. I just think that'd be so cute. I really like these Bratz Babyz, which is weird for me because I don't really like Bratz, but I think these are just like adorable. I think because her face is like so round. Onto her plushy body, so I have to cut off her limbs. I'm cutting off her legs and her arms, and I heat up plastic before I do that. And for the plushy like pattern of this, I actually used Attica Doll's pattern. She's on Etsy. I will link her in the description box. And yeah, the pattern was like extremely thorough, and it can definitely be like altered for a Bratziez. I'm not going to show you guys the process of me making this or like sewing this pattern because it's not my pattern, but I will link it down below, and if you guys want to check it out and you want to make one of these of your own, do that. But I am gluing her legs and her hands on. I don't know why this gives me like such body horror, like the needles in all of her like arms and legs. It's freaking me out a little bit, but I'm just gluing them on and then holding them in place with some needles, and then I'm stuffing the body with some leftover brushed out yarn that I had. I stuff her body, but I also eventually stuff her head as well. To secure her fur in place, I am doing so with hot glue. It's time to sew her head on, and I'm doing this with transparent thread. This was like both easier than I thought it would be and also like a little bit more difficult because it's just hard to like center the head. So I tried my best. I feel like it's a little off center though, which whoopsie daisies, but yeah, I'm just sewing that in place. And with that, she is done. This is by far the derpiest thing I've ever made. I don't hate it though. Like, I like it. I think it's so cute. My husband was like, why does she have a camel toe? And my response to that is, I don't know. Actually, I feel like I do know. I feel like it's because the fur that I used is very like thin. It's not like very thick fur. I feel like this would look better if I used thicker fur. I think thicker fur is more forgiving. So there's that. But I did buy her a little outfit, a little Labubu outfit off Amazon. There's so many little Labubu outfits. And I got this one and I was like, I don't know. So this is my Labubu. She has a magical girl outfit on. I was like, do I want to switch out the clothes on that and put this outfit on my Labubu and then put the magical girl outfit on my Bratziez? And that's actually what I ended up doing. I just liked it a little bit more. And now my Labubu has this outfit on. And with that, she's done in all of her derpy glory. Look at her. she's just like fighting evil by the moonlight and stuff, you know? This actually gives me like card captor vibes. Not really Sailor Moon vibes, but she's a magical girl Bratziez, so living her best life. But if you guys picked up Bratziez, let me know what you guys think about them. I really want to get one, but I don't want to pay $40 for it because that just feels wrong. But yeah, if you guys like her, let me know. Listen, if you don't like her, don't let me know, okay? I know she's a little derpy thing, but she's my little derpy thing. And I like her. She just looks crazy a little bit, and that's okay, alright? So, like this video if you like this video, subscribe, it makes me happy, and I hope you guys are having a beautiful day. Bye-bye.
Bratziez.